Hello everyone, Roberto here for another video review. This time we have the Gullón white chocolate twins. Yeah, so basically they're pretty much, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming they're a blatant rip-off of Oreo's version of this. Oreo's sort of enrobed and snowy enrobed and Cadbury coated ones or whatever. Yeah, so, because, I mean, it could have come first as a chance, but clearly it's an Oreo biscuit covered in chocolate. I think we need to establish that this is an Oreo biscuit now. It's not a Gullón biscuit, it's an Oreo biscuit. It is an Oreo, so I'm quite sure they came first. And I don't know why, I don't know how it happens where other companies can now do this. They don't seem to release their own version of the Oreo, but they do this sort of white chocolate or dark or milk chocolate coated ones. I've not seen a dark chocolate coated one actually, which I think would be well suited to it. So this is Gullón's equivalent. So Gullón, it's not Gullón, as far as I know anyway, it could be wrong, but it's a Spanish company, so the double L is pronounced like a Y in English anyway. So Gullón, so there we go. Obviously the accent's above the O as well. So Gullón. My Spanish is not the best, of course, but there we go. So I could be wrong, I stand to be corrected. Yes, there we go. So there is a sort of milk chocolate version, so just reviewed, so go watch that after this if you fancy. So it's in a sort of red packs, this one is in the blue pack. Yeah, it's a quite sort of nice, refreshing packaging, I think you'd say. I think in the UK this would normally just be white and things, but it's nice to have the blue. And it's nice to have the green logo as well. I think that's very unusual, have a green colour logo on chocolate type products in the UK. So yeah, nice to have that. So stands out definitely. Definitely stood out on the shelf when I walked past. Yes, there we go. So it's a serving suggestion. I'm not sure. Serving suggestion. That's the product. It's not like it's served with ice cream or anything. That's what it is. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure why it says serving suggestion on it. So what have we got on the back? So yeah, what's the description? Cocoa biscuit filling. No, cocoa biscuit with filling. It doesn't really read very well. That cocoa biscuit with filling, coated with white chocolate. There we go. So that was the same when he wanted milk chocolate. Doesn't say what the filling is, of course. I mean, it's a creamy type filling, but it doesn't really tell you. Keep cool and dry, protect from sunlight. Once opened, keep in the same conditions and close after each use. Keep in the same conditions. Unusual thing to say, isn't it? Yeah, so keep cool and dry, protect from sunlight. Once opened, keep in the same conditions and close each time after use. And close after each use. Calorie, so it's a 252 gram box. I think each one is like 40 odd grams or something, but we'll come to that. So 100 grams is 533 calories, 29 grams of fat, 17 of which are saturates. So the milk chocolate ones got slightly less calories, actually 527 as opposed to 533. Same fat, I think, 29 grams. Is it 29? Or is it 28? Let's have a look. Yeah, 28 as opposed to 29, so it's 1 gram less. So 1 gram more again in the white chocolate one. 16 of which are saturates in the milk chocolate, 17 of which are saturates in the white chocolate. So the white chocolate's got slightly more calories and slightly more fat, but very marginal. That's in 100 grams, so it's eating a lot less of that. This one has 6 times packs of 2, so there's 2 biscuits in each pack, or 2 sandwiches, I guess. So it does say sandwich cookie. So the sandwich is obviously the chocolate, but why it calls it, it's not really a sandwich. I think the sandwich is more the cookie, really. I don't know, so it seems a bit odd. Yeah, no. But there we go. It's got some writing there. It's got without, so sin is without in Spanish. Yeah, so no, it says non, it's not no. Hydrogenated fat, or hydrogenated, how you want to say it. So there we go. Yeah, so there's no there, it just says non, so I think in the UK we would know what that means. Senza, is that Italian maybe? I think sem is probably Italian, but not sure. Okay, so there we go. Yes, there we are. Right, so anything more to say on it? Not too sure. So, yeah, I think we should get into it. Give it an open. Let's do it. Okay, let's give these an open. Apologies if I'm not centred. Hopefully I am centred down the middle, so we'll, fingers crossed. Okay, so it's got a nice tissue box affair, it's the way to open it here, which is nice. So you just pull it open. Yeah, lovely. There we go. Alright, so very different. These ones are very... a bit more reminiscent of the Oreo ones actually. I was just saying how nicely packaged the milk chocolate ones were, because it's nice bright and red and very similar to the outside packaging. But these ones are very reminiscent of the Oreo ones, where these are just really plain in silver packaging with not much to say really. So I'm a bit disappointed about that. And you can see there's 6 packs in total. Oh well, yeah. unusual. So I don't know whether they're going from the transitioning. This is an older box, and they're actually going to package them like this in future. Whether they just treat the white ones differently, or they're going the other way around, whereas these ones will be like this in the future. But we think we want to keep them the same. So this would be very hard if this was what the milk chocolate one looked like as well. How you differentiate between them. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm not too keen on that, but there we go. So the Oreo ones are say very similar. So let's have a look. So there's two biscuits in this, 2 sandwiches. The flourishes are roughly about 13.5 centimetres, roughly. 13. Yeah. Yeah, about 13.5. 30.4, 30.5. Let's give them an open. Just before measuring before I get 2 in each one, as I say. So from 13.5, we've gone to, let's see, the diameter is about 4.5, so 9. So we've lost about 4.5 centimetres there. So it's, yeah, so yeah, the flourish is roughly, it's roughly intolerance around a loss of a fifth. So something like that, isn't it? 3 centimetres. Because there'll be 9 in total. That's 3.5. Yeah, I think that's not quite a fifth, is it, at all, actually? 4.5 centimetres, yeah. Yeah, so 13.5, yeah. 9, so that's about 4.5. So lost actually, that's about a quarter, haven't we, really? So it's just a bit too much. Normally, I think a fifth is probably acceptable. That's the standard loss of flourish to actual packaging, what it contains. This one's a quarter you've lost, so that's a bit, yeah. It's not perfect really, that, so must be more when you flatten it down, of course, as well. Okay, so here we go. So what they look like, so you can see they're very sort of, very creamy looking colour, isn't it? It's a very creamy white chocolate, as you'd expect, but it's quite thin, at least covering the biscuit. Well, the biscuit's quite dark, so it does come through quite a bit. You can see at the bottom there, there's a nice shape as well. It's quite greasy, getting a lot of grease from it as well. Where's my knife gone? It's disappeared. I'll just go find it. It's left in the kitchen. Okay, got my trusty knife. Rule as well, of course. Yeah, so I was just saying how the chocolate ones, the milk chocolate ones, weren't very greasy, but these ones are definitely. Now you're getting a sort of grease. Let's give one a cut in half. Some fluff when I dried it on the plate there. Right. Oh, it's not cut very well, that one. So there we go. So it's what you'd expect, really. And I think this one doesn't quite look as good as the wrapper because it's a very sort of creamy, yellowy white chocolate, isn't it? Whereas it's not that at all on the box. So the milk chocolate one did look very similar, but this one, as I say, looks it's very yellowy, isn't it? And the milk chocolate, the covering actually looks a bit thinner as well. It didn't seem to be, wasn't noticeably thinner with the milk chocolate one, but I guess because this is white chocolate, it's more obvious to the eye that it's a lot sort of thinner covering on the edges and things, but the top's quite thick still. So there we go. Yeah, so okay. So yeah, let's give it a bit of a measure then. So as I said, we just said 4.5 centimeters, didn't we? 4.5 in width, in diameter. Height wise, it's about 1.5, 1.6. There we go. Yeah, so an interesting one. As I say, it doesn't quite look as appealing because it's it's a bit of a yellowy milk chocolate, but that's yellowy white chocolate. But white chocolate generally is that sort of yellowy colour, isn't it? But just because of the fact it's got this sort of dark biscuit coming through as well, it kind of, I don't know, loses a bit of appeal, but it still looks nice. You can see there, that's what we're up against on the inside as well. Okay, well, not much more to say. We should give it a taste. Let's do it. Okay then, so I'm going to give these Gullón white chocolate twins a taste. So there we go. So you can see, as we've already established, they're not quite as how they are on the packaging. Pretty much are thickness-wise, roughly, maybe a bit thinner on the sides. But the white chocolate is obviously a lot more yellow than it is on the box. So yeah. But okay. We should, let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Not too bad. The white chocolate's definitely distinct, actually. Not bad. It's not bad actually. The white chocolate's quite nice. Works quite well with the biscuit and the sort of like the chocolate biscuit. It's quite nice. Yeah. And the cream's quite subtle. Again, I'll say it was obviously the case. It basically will be the same cream as in the milk chocolate one. I found it quite a nice cream. It wasn't too creamy, wasn't too sickly. It was quite subtle. And I think it is a bit too creamy in the Oreo, in the actual Oreo ones. This one's quite nice. I prefer this, I think. See the white chocolate, it's very thin here on this bit, like bit here that's sort of chopped off before. You can see you can barely get any white chocolate here at all. So it's only really on the top of the biscuit that you get any white chocolate. So as I say here, it's very thin. It's nice all the same. And I've mentioned the last one as well. The best way to eat these, I think, is to sort of turn them vertically, horizontally, vertically, and then bite down to sort of, separate them. So I quite like doing that. So let's have a see. And get a relatively clean cut as well. Need a mouth big enough, of course. No problem for me. You can see as well the way the white chocolate's filled in through the sides as well, which is quite good. So, quite thick white chocolate in between the layers as well. So pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Yes, I like that a lot. And let's give it a dunk. I've got a handy 1 cup of coffee here for a bit of dunkage. Let's see. I think biscuits are always nice when dunked. It's always the case, pretty much, and this is no exception. I think, although I would say it does make the cream in the centre more creamy tasting, which I was saying is like a benefit to it. In this case, the way it's a bit more subtle and less sort of sickly. Adding the sort of the warmth of the coffee to it does sort of melt it a bit, make it taste a bit more creamy. So there is that, but obviously the way it melts the chocolate and sort of softens the biscuit, so it is lovely as well. So I do really like these. I think the sort of biscuit itself is nicer than an Oreo. I think it's just a bit more. I say the outer chocolate's nice and chocolatey and rich and crunchy. It's the same really. But I think the cream's nicer in this case. I think it's just a bit less sickly and just a nicer, more subtle cream. Some people might not like that as much. I think for me, I do prefer that. I think the Oreo ones just tasted a bit too, just a bit too creamy really, and it just was a bit sickly. Whereas these ones aren't like that, so I prefer them actually. So I feel so the milk chocolate ones. It's hard for me to, the novelty's gone off a bit with these because they've been out a while now. And there's so many different ones. The Cadbury coated ones. There's the snowy and robe. The just in robe ones. There's the banhadas as well. The sort of Portuguese versions. I think they're official Oreo ones. They've got Blanco and regular milk chocolate ones. I said the Cadbury robe. They also do their own ones as well, which are quite nice actually. And Gullón, of course, I've got them now as well. So I think, so maybe in the old days I would have said a 5 out of 5, I think. But I think, I do like these. I'm not sure if I prefer them over the milk chocolate ones. I think the milk chocolates might be slightly better. So I think the white chocolate's, it's okay. It doesn't come out as much, and I don't think it's quite suited to the biscuit as much as the milk chocolate is. But nevertheless, it's still nice. And I think, but they're all quite similar. These, they're very much of a muchness. I think the biscuit in this case tips it over the edge for me, just makes it a bit nicer than the Oreo ones, just from memory, but it's not a massive difference at all. I think maybe the chocolate's doesn't feel quite as thick on this one though, but it is still thick enough. Yeah, so I like it. I say I think one thing that was a bit different on these ones was the packaging was so poor. I think it just seems more like the Oreo ones, which I didn't really like. It's just the silver colour. Whereas the other ones, the milk chocolate ones, had a proper wrapping. It was exactly the same as the outer wrapping. And even had the calorie information on as well. And just a lot better, really. But you don't really buy it for the wrapping. Of course, it's inside the box as well. But it's just something to note. So yes, I think we're still going to say 4.5 out of 5. I think I might prefer the milk chocolate ones over the white chocolate ones. I think that wasn't the case necessarily with the Oreo ones. Actually, I think I preferred the white chocolate ones. So, yeah. But they're still really nice. They are much for much, as I say. But for me myself, I just think I prefer the cream in the biscuit for these than I do in the Oreo ones. But you know, that's pretty much it really, and it's still very similar. So you know, I can't quite recall what I gave the Oreo ones and the Asda ones and the Bananas and things, but I think really I would probably all give them roughly the same. There's no real wow factor. You're not going to get your socks blown off. I think maybe in the old days you would have done, but I don't know why they now don't do. I think I was saying this earlier in a previous review or whatever. Why they don't just cover all biscuits with chocolate, like bourbons, custard creams. I think it'd just be amazing. You know, surely it's just a perfect way of improving anything. I know calorie-wise it might be an issue, but I would definitely let's have bourbons or custard creams or hobnobs even. I know they have chocolate on them, but properly covered in chocolate. Chocolate hobnob covered in chocolate. I think that would be brilliant, really nice. And I think I'd be in heaven actually. That might be the best biscuit ever. So please, McVitie's, if you're watching, please do it. And apologies, I've got chocolate on my mouth or whatever. I feel like I've got biscuit everywhere. It seems to have stuck in my teeth a bit. So I do apologise if that's the case. Yes, what can I say? It's one of those that comes with a job, unfortunately. Okay, guys. Well, leave a comment up as well. Let me know your favourites of Oreo type biscuit is. The enrobed ones, whether you prefer them without the sort of like the enrobedness, the covering of chocolates. And which one, if you do, you prefer, you know, the snowy enrobed ones, the Bananas, or these Gullón ones, or the candy coated ones, or whatever. Let me know which is your favourites. And yeah, leave a comment up. It's always good to hear from you either way. Follow on Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, things like this. Yeah, subscribe, like my videos. And I'll see you next time. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.